Imagine playing Stardew Valley, but the only way you are allowed to make money is by selling cooked dishes. Sounds kinda challenging, right? Well, that's exactly what I'm doing in this video. I'm challenging myself to beat Stardew Valley in just 1 year, playing as a chef where the only income I can earn comes from the food I cook. So if you're into cozy but slightly chaotic challenge runs, grab a snack, get comfy and buckle up because this Stardew Valley MasterChef Edition run is going to be full of ups and downs. But before we dive into the gameplay, let's quickly go over the rules. There are only 2 rules in this challenge. Rule number 1, I can only make money by selling cooked dishes. Rule number 2, I can only sell dishes that I cooked myself. So yeah, no selling those gift dishes you sometimes get in the mail. As for the goal, to beat Stardew Valley within the first year. But here's the catch, I'm going for the Joja route, not the community center. Why not the community center? I mean, technically it's doable in this challenge, but let's talk about it. Right now you might be thinking this challenge doesn't sound all that difficult, but let me give you a quick look at what we are actually working with. Let's say you sell an egg that's 50 gold, but cook it into a fried egg, suddenly it's worth only 35 gold. Add milk to that egg and sell them separately, 175 gold. Turn them into an omelette, just 125 gold. Sell a yam and a pumpkin on their own, you are looking at 480 gold. Combine them into Autumn's Bounty, drops down to 350 gold. See where this is going? Cooking in Stardew isn't exactly a money making scheme. It's basically the less profit more effort department, and the price range of dishes anywhere from 35 gold to 500 gold. But there's a catch, here are all 81 Stardew recipes. A lot of these are just off limits. These unlock only in year 2 events. These needs the community center or Joja completed. All of these are locked behind the Queen of Sauce channel, which is also for year 2, and these 3 require ingredients difficult to achieve. So after filtering all that out, we're left with 44 recipes. From those I ranked them based on difficulty and narrowed it down even further to the 21 best ones. But to be clear, I'm not making every single one, just the ones I'll actually need to reach the goal. That leaves us with a new price range, 35 to 350 gold, and honestly 350 as the highest price point is kinda sad. That's why I am going Joja instead of the community center. Joja needs 140k gold, which is still brutal, but the community center adds way too many extra expenses. And let's be real, 140k from nothing but cooking isn't exactly a piece of cake either. Oh, and one last thing, I'm going with the Meadowlands farm. The reason is simple, it gives me a free coop and 2 chickens, which means a steady supply of eggs right from the start. Alright, let's dive into the challenge. I started by creating my character, named the farm Ratatouille, picked this cat and went with the Meadowlands farm. Usually we start the game by buying seeds and planting them, but this time it's a bit different. I'm not gonna spend a penny out of this 500 gold. Why? Introducing Game Plan 2. Why Game Plan 2 first? We'll get to that in a minute. Build a barn and start milk production. Since I can't sell anything except cooked dishes, I'm aiming for a daily passive income, which is gonna be the omelette. Soon we'll start getting eggs daily, I just need the milk. I could also sell fried eggs, but the selling price is pretty low, so for now I'm storing every egg that my chickens lay. Just like the plan, I didn't buy any seeds on day 1, but I did plant some mixed seeds, give a gift to Linus, and socialize with everyone I needed to be friends with. That's going to be a daily task, so I won't mention it every day. In this first season, I need to spend a lot of time fishing because it's part of Game Plan 1. Get 3 hearts of friendship with Linus and start selling sashimi. I need 6000 gold for the barn upgrade and 3000 gold if I want at least 2 cows. So in total, I need 9000 gold to start milk production / Game Plan 2. Currently, the only thing I can think of selling in bulk is sashimi, but I need 3 hours of friendship with Linus to unlock the recipe. It's a bit low priced, 75 gold each, but it's my best bet. That means I need to sell around 114 sashimi to get the remaining 8500 gold. So for the next few days, I did exactly that. I spent most of my time catching fish, socializing and doing farm chores. I also got 26 spring onions in a single day. Wow, I have never gotten that many before. I even planted some rice shoots I got from a fishing treasure chest. On day 5, my first crop was ready, a parsnip, the community center and the mines opened. I also hit foraging level 2 and fishing level 4. Yep, I was grinding fishing hard. On day 6, I accepted a quest from Shane. Yeah, unfortunately, I need 3 hearts with Shane for the pepper poppers recipe. He might become sweet once friends, but at first, he's just straight up rude. I completed the quest, but don't worry, I didn't claim the money. Day 7 was the mayor's birthday. I didn't have anything he loved, so I just gave him a potato. I hit fishing level 5 and chose the trapper profession since I can't sell fish in this run. The next 2 days were pretty much the same, steadily increasing friendship with characters while catching a lot of fish. On day 10, the mayor sent me a letter with 500 gold. Oh, thanks Lewis. Breaking my challenge rules in style, I see. I bought 100 baits with it and donated them to the fishes in the ocean. Yep, your money is officially swimming with them now, Lewis. Then I made a furnace, melted a copper ingot and completed a quest for Clint. I also got a prize ticket which I exchanged for 12 carrot seeds. I hit foraging level 3 and unlocked the cookout kit recipe, which is gonna be my main cooking source until I upgrade my farmhouse. I started getting large eggs from day 11. Day 12 was a disaster. I went into the mines to farm copper, got stuck on floor 4 looking for stairs and ran out of food and energy. I still kept swinging my pickaxe into rocks thinking this has to be it. Nope, I passed out right there, lost the entire day and had to pay 50 gold for the privilege. That's how you turn a simple mining trip into a full day nap, courtesy of Extreme. On day 13, the carrots and cauliflower were ready to harvest. It was the egg festival, so I secured the straw hat. Day 14, I reached 2 hearts of friendship with Linus, Pam and Clint. I needed 1 more heart with Linus to get the sashimi recipe. On day 15, salmon berries started appearing. I accepted a quest for Linus to give him an amethyst. It took 2 days, but on day 16, I finally gave him the amethyst and hit 3 hearts of friendship with him. George also sent me the fried eel recipe that day. Finally, on day 17, I got the mail with the sashimi recipe. I crafted a cookout kit, made 163 sashimi and sold all of them. Since I can use the cookout kit the entire day, I caught some more fish and sold 16 more sashimi. I hit fishing level 7 and earned 13,425 gold for selling 179 sashimi. Not bad for our first big earning. Although it's already day 17, the next day I got Robin to start building a barn. It was Pam's birthday, so I gave her a daffodil. I also bought 2 more chickens for the coop and a fiberglass rod, finally able to use bait while fishing. On day 19, I adopted the cat and named it Persian after Pokemon. Pam sent me the recipe for cheese cauliflower and mom sent me some cookies I could eat but not sell. By the way, if you see a dish in my hotbar that I didn't mention, just assume it's from letters or trash cans. I made a dedicated chest for eggs and fenced the barn area. On day 20, Shane sent me a pizza, which was pretty nice, I have to admit. I made another cookout kit and sold 21 more sashimi. I used every fish except the catfish since it's Willie's favorite gift. It was also Shane's birthday, so I gave him an egg and hit 3 hearts with him. I earned 1575 gold from selling sashimi. Since I hit 3 hearts with Shane, he sent me the pepper poppers recipe the next day. My 2 chickens had grown and started laying eggs. The barn was ready, so I bought 3 cows for 4500 gold and 1 bucket for 1000 gold. I also hit farming level 3, unlocking the farmer's lunch recipe. On day 22, mom sent me a letter with 500 gold, so I repeated the same process. I was looking for clay to build a silo, but only found one after tiling a bunch of ground. I went to mines instead and I was finding stairs pretty quickly until I hit the infested floor. Still, I reached floor 30 and an explosion happened at night. Yeah, the meteorite landed. Seriously, in my barn area, you had nowhere else to land? I spent the most of the day mining and repeating floor 40 for iron. By the end of the day, I had a magnet ring, 64 copper ores and 40 iron ores. With iron in my hand, I made a recycling machine the next day, but before recycling anything, I had to watch the flower dance from the corner. No chance for me, only 1 heart with penny. After the dance, I recycled 3 soggy newspapers. I need 4 cloths to build the meal and there's only a 10% chance of getting cloth from each newspaper. So surprise, surprise, I didn't get any. Day 25 wasn't special. I just crafted 2 more furnaces, gave gifts and spent the day in the mines. Now that I have cows, I realized something. I had been planning to sell omelets, but to keep up with the number of eggs I had, I'd need way too much milk, which means way too many cows, and cows aren't exactly cheap, at this time at least, so I changed plans and decided to sell fried eggs. Good thing too, since milk and cheese have higher value products. I don't want to waste them in omelets. On day 26, I bought the omelet and bread recipe for 100 gold each. Then I made 56 fried eggs, 3 omelets and 5 sashimi. You might wonder why not farmer's lunch is just a parsnip with an omelet, right? But parsnip seeds cost 20 gold each and there's only a 25 gold difference between the selling price of an omelette and a farmer's lunch. 5 gold profit per parsnip? Yeah, I am good without that. I did make 2 farmer's lunch with mixed seeds parsnips and sold everything. I also mined a lot of iron that day, ended the day with 62 iron ores and 2760 gold. Day 27, Louis sent the spaghetti recipe. I tiled a lot of ground at the beach for clay and found enough for the silo. And look at this timing, Robin was literally leaving the store when I opened the shop interface, so I had Robin start building a silo. Finally, the last day of spring, and I forgot my cinematic slow motion walk out of the house. If you have watched the previous videos, you know what I mean. I did a quest for Willy and sold 11 sashimi and 5 fried eggs. Ended the day earning 1000 gold. Looking at the season, things aren't looking great. One season down and I've only got 3110 gold. Not even 5% of what I need. Until now, I had been playing casually, thinking I could achieve the goal easily, but I got hit with a reality check. But don't worry, I'm taking it seriously now. I was thinking of making a variety of dishes like a professional chef, but now I need to be a businessman chef. I have to focus on specific winning dishes, profitable and easily scalable if I want to complete this challenge within the first year. Let's hope for the best. Before we jump into the next chapter, let's have a quick chat. I know this video is super late, sorry about that. I was out of town on a trip to the mountains. I even dropped a community post about it, but still my bad. And just a heads up, the next video might be late too. There's a huge festival coming up in my state in about a week, so life's about to get busy again. But don't worry, I'll still make time to work on the next video. That being said, I really want to thank all of you for the support. You guys honestly keep me going. I love reading the comments, and if you are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. It really motivates me to keep putting out more videos. Alright, let's move on to the next chapter. Welcome to summer. Before we dive into the gameplay, let me give you some updates. You know how I was kinda lazy in spring and all over the place, but now I have planned every move of this run, every single step I need to take to hit my goal. Although following it can still be a bit challenging, things don't always go according to plan in Stardew. Okay, enough talking, let's get back to it. I started by making a dedicated chest for storing milk and the silo was ready. Then I did something ambitious. I bought 334 wheat seeds. Now you may be thinking, how am I gonna water all those plants? The answer is I'm not. Wheats take 4 days to grow and we're definitely gonna get 4 days of rain in summer, so I can plant them and leave them be. And what am I gonna do with all these wheat? Let's just say I need it for the final recipe of this run, the last dish I'll sell in winter. I tiled all the plots but didn't have time to plant the seed right away. I also hit foraging level 5 and chose the gatherer profession. The next day I planted all the wheat seeds, accidentally destroyed one and replaced it. My main goal now was to collect 3500 gold, 2500 for meal and 1000 for wheat seeds. I'm also making wheat my primary summer crop because I can turn them into bread. Just to be clear, the seeds I planted today aren't for bread, that's for later. On day 3, I focused on catching fish and making sashimi to earn that 3500 gold. I made 37 sashimi and 12 fried eggs and sold them, ending the day at fishing level 8 with 3195 gold. The next day, I went to the mines to gather enough copper for 25 sprinklers since I'll plant 100 wheat seeds. I also needed to boost friendship with Demetrius because I want the Autumn's Bounty recipe, which requires 7 hearts with him. I bought 100 wheat seeds and 2 ice creams, Demetrius' favorite, and set up the sprinkler area. On day 5, I planted all the seeds. If the mill gets built, this area will generate 6000 gold every 4 days, with 5000 of it straight profit. But to build the mill, I need 4 cloths and those aren't easy to get. I gave Demetrius an ice cream and planted 20 extra wheat seeds in the future planting area, just in case a thunderstorm hit. Then I started fishing soggy newspaper in the pond to try my luck at cloth. The next 2 days I kept fishing and recycling newspapers, but zero cloth, not a single piece. On day 8 I changed tactics. I went to the mines, grabbed more copper and got the wild bait recipe from Linus. I leveled up in mining and chose the miner profession. Day 9 the wheat was ready. I planted 100 more seeds, set up 12 crab pots in the pond, hoping they would catch trash, including soggy newspapers. Yeah, that was the new plan, and kept fishing. Still no cloth. I hit farming level 5 and chose the rancher profession since I can't sell plants or artisan products anyway. Then something unexpected happened. The crab pots caught actual fish instead of trash. I honestly don't know how that even happened, but this plan failed too. Now I seriously didn't know how I would get the 4 cloths. Day 11 was the luau event and I dropped an iridium quality large egg into the soup for the governor. He seemed to like it. I did some math for the cloth and there are 2 options. Option 1, grind 38,000 gold, 10,000 for a big coop, 20,000 for a deluxe coop and 8,000 for a single rabbit to start wool production. That's 507 sashimi or 507 fish catches just for 4 cloths. Insane, right? Option 2, keep fishing in the pond, but this time with bait. I'm not sure if it even works here, but it's worth a shot. I also need to collect a lot of bug meat from the mines, so yeah, I went with option 2. Alright, it's day 15 and no, it's not because nothing happened on days 12, 13 and 14. screen. It's because I forgot to hit the record button. Yeah, classic me. So a lot went down, and let me give you a quick update on what happened. First, the bait method worked. I was catching trash faster and I got my first cloth on day 13. Wheat was harvested and replanted, though I lost 2 to a crow and a thunderstorm. I made 2 more recycling machines, hit farming level 6 and unlocked the quality sprinkler and cheese press recipes. On day 15, Demetrius sent me the fried mushroom recipe while I continued collecting bug meat for baits. The next day, I got the second cloth, just 2 more to go. Day 17, wheat harvesting again, though Wednesday prevented me from buying seeds. I made over 200 baits and 10 wild baits. Day 18, I needed gold for seeds, so I made 59 fried eggs, sold them and bought 100 wheat seeds. I didn't sell omelets because I'm saving milk for a future cheese dish. Demetria showed up midday and I chose the mushroom cave since I had no use for fruits. The cookout kit was available all day, so I sold 14 algae soups and did some fishing. Sold 22 sashimi and 1 more algae soup. I ended the day at fishing level 9 with 3150 gold. Demetrius' birthday arrived the next day. I gave him an ice cream, hit 5 hearts and got the third cloth. The fairy visited at night, instantly growing my 25 wheat. The next day I replaced grown wheat with new seeds and watered them to match the growth. I finally got the fourth and last cloth. So glad I didn't take the 38,000 gold route. Just look at the amount of trash that I collected from this task. On day 21, Willie sent me the chowder recipe. Finally, I had Robin start building the meal. I placed the crab pots at the beach and naturally one ended up in Sebastian's hands by mistake. He didn't seem too thrilled about that gift. I also started recycling broken glasses for refined quartz. On day 22, I got another 500 gold in a letter. Yep, Louis strikes again. I did the same thing as before. Then I bought my last 100 wheat seeds for the season, harvested the wheat, replanted, fixed the coop's broken fences and crafted 4 charcoal kilns. Day 23 was green den, perfect for ritual harvesting. I collected 586 fiber, 228 moss, 28 mixed seeds, 23 mixed flower seeds, 36 fiddlehead ferns and 3 mossy seeds. Day 24 brought a thunderstorm, so I made 3 lightning rods and placed them around the farm. The meal was finally ready, so I loaded it with 424 pieces of wheat. It was also Willie's birthday, so I gave him a catfish, his favorite. I even put all my unmealed rice in the meal. The next day it was raining again, giving me the last stretch of wheat growth I needed. Even with the lightning rods, 2 crops still got ruined, one by the thunderstorm, one by a crow. I collected 14 rice and 424 wheat flour from the meal. Willie also sent me the escargot recipe. I crafted a cookout kit but decided to save it since the rest of the wheats will be ready to harvest the next day. Day 26, I harvested all the wheats, 450 in total. I put it through the mill to make flour and found 2 winter roots while mining. Day 27 was a big one. My 450 wheat flour was ready, giving me a total of 874. I had to save 334 for a future dish, so I made 540 pieces of bread and accidentally made 14 sashimi instead of maki rolls. Oops. I had to restart the day, but this time I bought the maki roll recipe first. Then I made 540 pieces of bread, 14 maki rolls, 2 root platters, 32 fried eggs and 2 algae soups. I could have sold everything to Pierre for instant gold, but let's be real, selling things through the shipping bin is way more satisfying. That day I made a total of 37,480 gold. Pretty epic, honestly better than I expected. And that's how the final day of summer came. With so much gold on hand, it was time to go shopping. I had Robin start building another barn for 6,000 gold. Since I need at least 2 more cows, it's cheaper than upgrading the existing barn. I gave my axe to Clint for an upgrade which cost 2,000 gold. Bought the Joja membership for 5,000 gold. Purchased another cow from Marnie for 1,500 gold. We'll probably need 1 or 2 more after the new barn is ready. And finally, I bought 125 tomato seeds from Pierre. You might be wondering why tomato seeds on the last day of summer. Simple, they are for the greenhouse in winter. I needed 108, but just to be safe, I bought 125. Call it advanced winter planning. Lastly, I extended the barn fences and crafted 5 more sprinklers. Honestly, summer was pretty damn good. We pulled off our first big sellout. Everything is going according to plan, but that doesn't mean challenges won't come. And speaking of challenges, there's one waiting in fall, but we'll face it together. Fall is here. Time to start making some serious profits. But before we dive into the gameplay, can someone explain what's going on with my chicken? It looks very confused. Anyway, moving on, I bought 60 yam seeds and 60 pumpkin seeds. Let me quickly explain the plan for this season. Game plan 3, make Autumn's Bounty. This season, I'm going for the Autumn's Bounty dish, which sells for 350 gold each and is one of the highest selling dishes I can make in this challenge. The downside, it cost 160 gold to make each one because I need a pumpkin and a the yam. Since pumpkins take 13 days to grow, I can make the dish twice in fall. That's why I invested 9600 gold in seeds, which should get me 60 autumn's bounty dishes and 21,000 gold by fall 14. And yes, my chicken is still dancing. The plant started growing the next day. Oh, and it was Penny's birthday, so I gifted her a diamond and got up to 6 hearts. I also collected my copper axe and gave Clint my pickaxe to upgrade. With that axe, I started chopping hardwood on the farm. Day 3, the new barn was ready. I went to Mani's to buy some cows, and this Shane's cutscene happened. Is he depressed? I never realized. His dialogues were kinda sad, honestly. I bought 2 more cows. Now remember the challenge I mentioned for fall? It's tied to game plan 3. The plan doesn't stop at fall 14. After making 21,000 gold from the first batch, I need to reinvest it into more pumpkin and yam seeds for the second batch. The first batch used sprinklers for 120 plants, but in the second batch, I'll need to plant 260 plants. That means I need more sprinklers for 140 plants. So I plan to craft 18 quality sprinklers. To do that, I need gold and I have to reach floor 80 in the mines. Not too bad since there's still plenty of time. First though, I had to wait for my pickaxe upgrade. Day 4 and great. Another 500 gold from the mayor. At this point, I am starting to think he just enjoys giving me the extra work. I picked up my upgraded pickaxe and headed straight to the mines. Got my first gold ores from slaying ghosts and reached floor 70. From the next day, I started getting 4 milks. I also hit floor 80 but ran out of food and energy, so I had to leave. Day 6 was a thunderstorm. I made more lightning rods because now I cannot risk losing a single plant. I gave Demetrius a gift and finally hit 7 hearts with him. That day's mining session was huge. I collected 103 gold ores and 71 iron ores. That's more than enough for 18 quality sprinklers. The next day, I got a bunch of battery packs and finally the autumn's bounty recipe from Demetrius. Spent the whole day smelting gold. By day 8, all 18 quality sprinklers were ready. All my cows were fully grown. Now that I have enough quality sprinklers, my next goal is to make a lot of cheese press. Each one requires 10 hardwood, so I might need to upgrade my axe again, which costs 5,000 gold. And for that, on day 9, I made 40 fried eggs. Also, I discovered I can make sashimi out of any crab pot fish. That's interesting, I didn't know that. I had been ignoring my crab pots for so long. Sold 40 fried eggs and 34 sashimi to Pierre, leaving me with 6400 gold. Upgraded my axe, opened some mystery boxes. Nothing extraordinary except an escargot. Note that for later. Then I set up my crab pots in the ocean and noticed I had some crab pot fish in my beach chest. So I made more sashimi and earned 1125 gold. On day 10, Josh sent me 35 stones in a letter. Where were you in the previous challenge, mister? I crafted 4 cheese presses and finally started turning milk into cheese. Since I needed stones to make more, I took the cheese presses straight into the mines. That way I could collect stones and make cheese at the same time. Efficiency. Day 11, all 60 yams were ready, so I harvested them. I picked up my steel axe and moved the crab pots back into the farm pond since it's easier to keep track of them there and it's giving me decent fish anyway. With the new axe, I grabbed more hardwood and made 5 more cheese presses. That brings me to 9 total, and honestly that's enough. I don't need to go crazier than that. The next day I got cloth from recycling a newspaper, and this is where the escargot finally came in handy. I paired it with the cloth in Emily's sewing machine and made myself a chef coat. Now I am officially a professional chef. Okay, maybe not that professional. I have only cooked a handful of dishes. There's also a chef hat, but I can't get that unless I make every single dish in the game, and only then it can be bought from the Rat's Hat shop. On day 13, I set up all the sprinklers and finally caught up converting all the milk into cheese. At this point, I had 140 cheese stocked up in the chest. Day 14, the pumpkins were finally ready, all 60 of them, which meant it was cooking time. I made 60 autumn's bounty, 24 sashimi and 20 fried eggs, then sold them to Pierre so I could instantly buy more seeds. After selling those dishes, I had 25,200 gold. I bought 130 pumpkin seeds and 130 yam seeds. Later, I noticed I still had extra fish, so I made 11 more sashimi and sold them normally. I wrapped up the day planting and watering everything and ended with 825 gold. Day 15, I replaced the barn fences since most of them were broken. Day 16, another 500 gold in the mail. This was really starting to get annoying, and I couldn't even use it to buy bait because it was the Stardew Valley fair, so that money just sat there. I fixed that the next day, and honestly I didn't have much else going on. At this point, I was just skipping through days, keeping up with the essentials, collecting milk, making cheese, grabbing eggs from the coop, fish from the crab pots, oh and of course giving Penny her gift. shifts priorities. On day 21, I decided to start saving money for the house upgrade. I mean, let's be honest, a professional chef needs a professional kitchen. So I did a lot of fishing that day, made and sold 69 sashimi. That's a suspiciously specific number. The next day, I had Robin start upgrading the house. Then it was right back to the same day skipping routine. On day 25, the house upgrade was complete. I finally had a real kitchen and the yams were ready too. I harvested all 130 of them and also hit level 10 farming, choosing the shepherd profession. Skip to day 27, this was the big one. The pumpkins were fully grown and I harvested all 130 of them. With my upgraded kitchen, I could finally store ingredients in the fridge and cook them directly from the oven. No more wasting time on cookout kits, so I made 130 Autumn's Bounty, 52 fried eggs and 18 sashimi. I sold everything right away since it was Spirit's Eve and the shops were closed. That sale brought in a whopping 48,670 gold, easily the biggest sellout so far, and it meant I was finally ready for the next phase of the run. And then the last day of fall came around. Shopping time again. I had the greenhouse repaired for 35,000 gold, bought the inventory upgrade for 2,000 gold and picked up 16 quality sprinklers for the greenhouse. Quick stat check before we head into winter. I have got 334 wheat ready and I need 334 cheese in total. Right now I am at 230, which is perfect. With 6 cows and 28 days left, hitting 334 is basically guaranteed. Honestly, the next chapter might be short because at this point it's hard to mess things up. So let's take the final step and hopefully claim the victory. And here begins the final chapter. I started with the greenhouse, placing sprinklers, tiling soil, planting tomato seeds and watering everything. Now let's talk about the last game plan of this run. Game plan 4. The goal is to make 334 of the final dish, pizza. Yep, as some of you might have guessed already from the ingredients, this is the one. To cook pizza, you need cheese, wheat flour and tomatoes. It sells for 300 gold each, less than Autumn's Bounty, but it also costs less to make. So honestly, I don't have much to do during winter. I just need to wait for the tomatoes to grow and keep stockpiling cheese, which means it's time for a finishing run montage. Okay, so finally I have more than enough tomatoes. I got 112 on day 12, 112 again on day 16 and 117 on today, means day 20. I got a little extra since tomatoes have that 5% chance to drop more, so it was finally cooking time. I stuffed all the ingredients into the fridge, including some other ingredients for other dishes as well. Bought the pizza recipe from Gus and got to work. First I made 334 pizzas, then I added on 6 chowders, 84 fried eggs and 79 sashimi. Sold every single one of them and earned a whopping 109,875 gold. Now that's the number I was waiting for, and with that I had more than enough to complete the Joja route, so the challenge is officially completed. So final thoughts. Honestly, I have got mixed feelings about this run. At the start it was stressful, lots of tension, lots of planning, but once I mapped everything out, the pieces started clicking into place, which kind of made it feel easier than I expected. And yeah, part of me worried that might make it less exciting to watch, but hey, not everything's predictable, right? If you're still here watching at this point, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate you sticking through the whole video. That's all from me for now. I hope you had a good time. If you did, please consider subscribing. I'm really looking forward to getting monetized soon. Who isn't? But either way, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.